Hey moms, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking about what we're thankful for. So it's been 2 years since we've done a thankful video. We did one our very first Thanksgiving after starting Momestly Me in 2019, right?
Yes.
Okay. So much has changed that it just made sense. So we have, our channel has grown substantially since then. We're coming up on 130 subscribers. We have done so many video collaborations with other moms, with dads. We've done a lot. And we've experienced a lot of firsts, and we've been through a lot as people, as women, as mothers. And it just made sense to do another thankful video.
Yep. Oh, and we have like 700 subscribers on Facebook.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. They just need to all subscribe to YouTube now.
That's all.
Anyways.
And maybe we'll do something fun when we reach 200. Because I like, typically what we've, at least from what we've seen and what I've heard, is that once you start picking up momentum, it becomes just a little bit easier. Yeah. But I think our first 50 was probably really difficult. And then I feel like after that it was pretty, consistent.
I think so.
But anyway, yes, we're going to talk about some things that we're thankful for. This time, let's see, this time last year, I had only been at my new job for about 2 months, ish, close to that. By the time you see this, it'll be about 2 months. And I wasn't really sure about any of that. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to make that work, if it was just going to be temporary until I found something else. So I think my first one is going to be that I'm very thankful for my job. And I'll tell you why. I've had a lot of bosses, and I have never liked any of them. Never.
Nope.
I've very rarely gotten along with any of my bosses, and very scarcely the people I work with, because I don't really like people. So, but this place that I work at now, I love so many people that I work with. And I think, I really have a phenomenal boss. I have a boss that sees me as something more than just somebody to do them a favor by showing up every day. And she has shown me a lot of understanding and patience as someone who also has children. And she's just a very, just a really cool person in general. I feel like I got really lucky in that regard because, as Melinda can attest to, I was very nervous about the concept of working for a small business because I'd been back in corporate for so long, and you typically make more money in corporate, and corporate comes with benefits, and there's all these things. But the corporate mentality blows, and I feel very lucky and fortunate to have gotten away from that. So that's my first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
I took my time.
You did take your time. There's just been so much that's happened.
That's true.
I'm trying to think back, because there's been so much that's happened this year.
That's true.
There was stuff
specifically.
There was stuff that happened last year, and I'm trying to go back to find the things from last year. One of the things I'm thankful for is our people. Okay. So what I mean by that is that Angel, Rick, and Oliver are our people. My siblings and their children are our people. I have Amanda, Matt, and Wesley are our people. And so when we had all of that time in quarantine and not being able to go see our parents are our people. So not being able to go see those people, it took a humongous toll on Aria. And so when we were able to, it sounds like we're coming out of the bunkers, but I mean, essentially,
it feels that
that's
way.
what it felt like. So when we were able to finally go see our people, Aria lit up again, and she started, because she stopped talking to us. and she started talking to us, like talking again.
Yeah.
When she got to spend time with our people, because we had those families that we could trust, that we could spend that time with and know that we were safe, right? In a world of uncertainty, we knew that with our people, we were safe and we were good and we could see them when we needed to, wanted to see them. And so I am very thankful and grateful for our people, for our village that we have here in person, because without them, I don't know, like, how things would have gone with Aria and her not talking to us, and like how that would have affected her more. Because if we didn't have them here where we could be with them in person, like talking physically, like, I don't know how that would have gone for us. So I'm very thankful for our immediate village here that we could be with in person in those times last year. And last year. So that's my number one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. What's your number two?
I think my number two, and I don't really know how to word this one, so I'm going to fumble through it like usual, and we'll get there eventually.
There's a lot of fumbling just a minute ago.
So whatever you would call, like, I guess I'll kind of piggyback off of our people. I think I'm very fortunate that I have a certain level of support and people around me. And I was able to kind of take some of that and push it in a more creative direction. And without harping too much, because it's not prevalent to this channel specifically, but I don't know that without support and without people encouraging me and believing in me and helping me kind of get knowledge that I needed to, I don't know that I would have had what it took to start another channel. Like, I don't think I would have had that. And I think it's something like, you can have a passion about something all day long, but if you don't have the discipline and the courage to like really put yourself out there, if you don't have people to help you feel that way, even in days that you don't want to feel that way, like you're not necessarily going to have what it takes to push yourself to do it, start it, finish it, whatever, And I think that, I've learned a lot about the things that I am passionate about in areas of like, you take a general topic and you learn that, I'm actually really passionate about these smaller topics within that bigger topic.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have learned that much about myself if it had not been for the support I had around that. So I think that's probably a big one for me, because I have learned a lot. When we first started Momestly Me, I didn't take a part of the more, the aesthetic stuff. That's more Melinda's, expertise. And she was the one that took the time to learn how to do all of those things and make the things that look so great on our channel and all of those things. And, and Mike is the editing piece, and he knew how to do all of that. And he knew how to set up all of those things. And over the last year specifically, I've learned how to do, not all of it, but I've learned how to do so much more of that stuff than I did before. And I did that through asking questions and getting support and having people that were willing to share that knowledge base with me.
And I'm actually going to say you're better at the social media aspect of it now than I am.
I hate social media much.
I know.
I hate it so much.
But you are in like the things that you share and how often you share.
Yeah.
I am terrible at sharing other people's things. And other things too. But like, dude, you are really doing a fantastic job with sharing things and interacting, and like on your other channel. By the way, Angel has another YouTube channel.
Yeah.
A personal channel, sort of. It's only her on it, so it is personal, I guess. But
yeah, Mike makes some appearances. Yeah. Like recently, he's been making appearances.
I get to help with a video. But
that's true. A big one, a big video.
It is a big video, but
yeah, I mean, well, and I think it's funny because like I really do hate social media, but the problem is when you're doing content creating, you don't really have a choice.
No,
you can't make a YouTube channel and not have anything on social network. Like you won't, no one's gonna know who the hell you are.
Right.
That has been probably the biggest struggle of all of it. But I think it just kind of goes back to like feeling supported and pushing and making the things that I'm passionate about come to fruition, which takes effort, and sometimes you have to do shit you don't want to do.
Yep.
But I don't think I could have done any of that without support and other people having knowledge bases outside of things that I already knew how to do. I mean, that's kind of what makes this channel what it is. It's not just me. It's not just Melinda. It's not just Mike. It takes all of those working pieces together.
Yep.
And that's really driven me to do other things that I just don't think I would have had the courage to do otherwise.
Yeah.
So I think that's my number 2. In a nutshell, a very big nutshell.
Okay. So, in a completely different direction, my number 2 is I am thankful that I'm here. If you haven't seen the other videos, I think I've talked about it in 2 videos on the channel. I got in a really horrible car accident in April. And it has taken a much bigger toll on me than I realized it was. So I think there's some things going on in my life that if I had not been in a physical place that I was, then I think the car accident would have been much worse and would have taken a much worse toll on my body. But I wasn't in a good mental place when it happened. And I just don't talk about it because I didn't grow up talking about things. Yeah. And it just got worse because if you've ever experienced a severe concussion, the body pain, you know what? Eventually you can deal with that kind of stuff, right? And I did. But the concussion was something I've never, ever experienced in my life. And it was awful and probably one of the worst parts of the experience because there are days, literal days missing from my life during those several months that really affected me still. And it has really taken a toll on my mental stability and emotional stability. And I'm to a place where I'm getting better with that, but I'm thankful that I'm here. And I'm thankful for the people that are still here with me because, damn, I apparently tried really hard to push them away and didn't even realize it. And it's been really hard. And when you don't realize that you're doing things, it's like, I feel like there's not an excuse, but it's really hard. Like when you go back, when you have people telling you that you're like, you haven't talked in this many days, and you're like, it's been that many days. Like, it's just, I'm thankful that they are still here with me and they are still supporting me, especially now, like there's this new step of like mental health that I'm talking to somebody and taking some stuff to help. And that's never been something I ever thought I would do or I would need. And so I am extremely grateful for being here and having those people who love me and I love still being here and supporting me and holding me the whole way, because I don't know where I would be without them. That was my number 2. I don't know if I said that yet, but
yeah. And I think like it really is crazy to think about like the last year specifically, like all the stuff that's happened.
It's been a lot.
It has been a lot.
We thought 2020 was crazy.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's insane to think about too, because like yeah, I mean, you know, 2020 was like a really crazy year.
It was.
But all the bad stuff that's happened, I guess, at least to me in the last, since COVID, all happened this year.
Yep.
You know, we lost Josh. We had all that stuff going on with my mother-in-law. We had to put Oliver in daycare. Like, I mean, you know, relationship stuff, right? Like a lot of stuff has happened in this time frame of this year that is crazy to think about.
It is.
Which kind of leads us into like our little last one that we'll do for this video, which is being thankful for you guys, for people who watch our videos, for people who interact with us online, who have worked with us, who have, you know, been on videos with us, who have shared a thing, donated to a thing, like all these things, because it's it's been a slow, like a slow climb. That's the word. Drive is what I was going to say. That doesn't make any sense. Climb. It's been a very slow climb, but I think that we're. I guess this is kind of maybe goes without being said, but I think it kind of makes you appreciate what you have when you get a little bit more.
Yes.
So like,
So.
we by no means expected to be like sitting up in Cancun filming videos by this point. That was never the expectation.
That'd be nice.
No shit. I'd love, yeah, like, but the reality is I don't necessarily know that anybody who begins to content create really knows what they're getting themselves into.
I don't think so.
But I will say that I think that one of the things, at least that I feel, is I feel like it has given me drive to do things through things I didn't want to do. Like when I'm sitting now, like, and I'm experiencing life, I'm not just always thinking about how it affects me and the people around me. Now I'm thinking, like, is there someone else that could benefit from hearing this? And it wasn't easy sitting at my dining room table talking about my dog that I'd had for 10 years passing away, when it was so new and so it's so hard, and it's still hard. And I think, like, and that's such a small, like, piece to everything that we're sharing, everything that we're going to share of our lives with people we don't know, but we know.
Right.
And I think I think that really speaks to what we're trying to accomplish, what we hope to accomplish.
I think so. Even posting the other day, well, when we're filming this the other day. Anyways, even posting, like, opening up about signing up for therapy.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big thing. Like, she messaged me and she's like, if you want to. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. I was like, I can do that. And then I think it took me an hour to get the post up.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's such a personal thing. But it's an important thing because we've talked to people on our channel who have suffered with mental health issues, who currently who've been suffering with it for a long time or even a short time. And it's so important, especially as women and mothers. Like, we have to be there. We have to be the best us so that we can be the best for them. Whether it's just our children or our families, whomever, each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's important.
It is.
And it's hard to share those kinds of things, especially when you're not used to sharing with people.
Well, and especially when you're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
When you get past something and you're like you really made it through this and you're, trucking on and everything is better. I think it's a lot easier to talk about those things.
I think so.
Then,
yeah.
If I did a video about losing, my dog, or like the trauma of like dealing with like toxic in-laws. Like, if I talked about that stuff months after everything was all said and done, that's a very different thing.
Well, it's like when Oliver started preschool, and when Aria started preschool, there were a lot of things that went through my head, but I didn't share them. And I should have, and that's a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll get to talk about them one day. Or maybe, who knows? But, like, I should have just shared then. And I'm like, no, maybe not. Like, maybe that's too much. And I think one of the things that we've learned is that so far, nothing that we've posted has been too much.
Yeah.
Nothing that we've posted has been too much or been taken. Sleep training is a hot button. But, like, there are different things.
And I think one of the things is it's hard because one of the things that we try so hard to do is to be so honest.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, when you open up your life and you're being vulnerable with information about how you're feeling and what you're going through, and you're being honest, it's risky. I mean, we've had talks with each other about not being maybe as honest as we should be about some of the things that we've said, because there are moments where you get, in the moment, you're like, oh God, I can't say that, or I really don't want to share that because then, somebody could react poorly. And it's been very difficult. I mean, and we go back and forth on what to post about vaccinations and what to post about. And it's like, at the end of the day, we have to decide, is it worth pretending to be something we're not for a like or a follow.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's anything that anybody is completely prepared for. And there are people who get to a point where they're like, fuck it. You don't like me, you don't like me. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. So we do try to be careful and mindful of that. Yeah.
But, part of our community that we've built so far, the people who surround us, like, you take us as we are.
Yeah.
And we're thankful for that.
Yeah.
Like, you support us, you take us as we are, with a grain of salt sometimes.
Depends on what kind of week it's been.
It depends. But, I mean, that's something that's special. And that may change later if we get thousands of followers eventually. Like, that could change. But, you know what? At this moment, we are so thankful for all of you for accepting us for who we are and being there regardless. It's been awesome. It really has been.
Unless you burn, Pokemon cards as punishment.
Please don't burn Pokemon cards as punishment.
And don't even come back on our page ever again.
Yes.
And also don't have any more children ever again.
Google that if you don't know what we're talking about.
Mom burns Pokemon cards as punishment for her child.
Not okay with that.
No, not okay with that.
Anyways.
I think in general we have a lot to be thankful for. We're putting them under very simple umbrellas, but they're so much bigger than that, so much more meaningful than that.
They are.
And during this time of year when, we don't really like the holiday and the reason, but we build around family and community, and I think those are things that are okay to celebrate, things you want to put out into the content that you're creating. So I think that's important.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, thank you.
Thank you
for being there for us.
Yeah.
And supporting us.
Yep.
We hope that you will continue to do that. And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, we thank you for hitting the subscribe button and the bell. Oh, and also we're on Patreon now.
We're on Patreon.
Yeah, that's a thing we have to get used to.
I forgot.
That's going to be linked somewhere. Definitely in the description.
In the bottom somewhere.
Yep. We are on Patreon now. So thank you to our patrons. There's probably multiple ones down here.
Hopefully. At least one. Our number one fan. Our number one fan for sure is on there.
That's right. Absolutely.
I hadn't slapped my knee in like 30 years. That's funny.
Oh, boy. There is room. There is room for there to be a tie for number one fans if you know.
Yeah. I don't know. You had to pick up your game a little bit because she's pretty up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah.
But yeah, so like and subscribe to this channel, this video. Bell icon so you get notified when we post more videos. Support us on Patreon if you would like to. We appreciate you if you do.
Oh, yeah.
And follow us on social media at Momestly on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And that's it for today. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.